Hello and welcome back to Final Fantasy Tactics. Alright, so in this episode, last episode we started the game. We learned that we're learning the history of this world, and of a big war that happened, and of the hero of that war. His name was Delita, somebody we know here. But now we're taking a look back into the past and seeing kind of where they came from, and this secret hero that nobody knows about from the pages of history named Ramza. In this episode, what we're going to be doing is getting our team assembled. So I already have a whole team of folks ready to go. Not ready to go, but a whole team of folks that I'm going to hire and bring on and train up. And they're going to be who I have the whole game. And I won't be using any of the very, very awesome special characters, which is unfortunate because they're really cool, but I'm not going to use them because they're too good. They're so good. So what I'm doing right now is I'm unequipping everybody I have. The reason is I can sell all their junk, make a little bit more money, and that will enable me to purchase more people for the party. So that'll jumpstart me a little bit. Okay, that's everybody's equipment except my special guest, whom I have to keep, so I might as well keep him equipped, and the main character, whom is the main character. I can't get rid of him if I wanted to. Okay, so now we're going to remove all these people. And they all have very sad messages when we do this. Sorry, we have to say goodbye. You sure about this? No, but I have to. So I gotta do what I gotta do. Hey, come on. You really mean it? Yes? Yes, I do. So, we're finished, huh? You dumb people just like that? Oh, no, make it stop. I don't want to go. Let me stay a little longer, please. If that's what you want, but are you sure? One more, Esmeralda. Isn't that a little selfish? Can't you think it over? I'm sorry, Esmeralda. You were my one and only, but not anymore. God, it's so hard. They make it so tough, man. It's they're not kidding. Alright, so now we're gonna go sell all the people. We just stripped these people and we booted them out. We're gonna go sell their stuff. Because our new people will have their own stuff. They may not have as many broadswords, so I am going to save those, and the mithril knife, which we just got as a bonus. I am going to sell all the daggers, because they'll come at minimum with their own crappy daggers. Sell all their hats, they'll all come with hats. Sell all the clothes, they'll come with clothes. I want these, they're amazing, I'm not selling them for anything. Okay, and let's sell some of our items. So items in Final Fantasy Tactics are generally not as important as in other Final Fantasies. Granted, in a lot of Final Fantasies you can get away without using them, but in this one you can really get away without using them. The only people who can throw them and help their teammates are chemists, and you're not going to keep chemists most of the game. You can use the chemist ability as a secondary ability on your characters, but you can't, still can't throw it to other characters unless you use the chemist's support ability called Throw Item. I think it's called Throw Item. Some of these items aren't the same as normal Final Fantasies, so X potions, for instance, don't heal all your HP like a lot of them. It just heals, I think, like 300, which is a lot. But even the high potions I'm going to sell. The potions I'm going to keep. I may even get some more. But yeah, I don't know what elixirs do, but they don't get you much. Yeah, completely restore. So they're like the old ones. Phoenix Down's going to keep too, because for a little bit we will have chemists. You need chemists to get you into the magical classes. So, okay. That still does not get me enough to get all the characters I want. I can buy 5 characters now, and I need to buy 6. That feels bad, but that's okay. It'll be alright. Okay, so we're gonna start buying characters. Okay, I got all that stuff ready, so now we are going to go to the soldier office. Now, if this gets too tedious, I'm not gonna make you guys watch all of it, but I'm gonna give you an idea of how this works. So basically, what you do, you can choose between male or female fighters. Change name does not apply to humans. You can only use it on monsters. Yes, you can train monsters. You can capture them in fights using mediators, and you can train monsters. And you can change their names. But you can't do that with your male and female fighters, which is why I have to hire all new ones to get my friends here. Welcome back, everyone. I just wanted to take a second and explain a little bit of what I was looking at, a little bit of the complexity of trying to get the right party, and a big part of that is Zodiac compatibility. Now, you can get by without min-maxing this, and frankly, I didn't perfectly min-max it or anything. I just tried to get it ballpark good enough so that nobody's really negative to each other, and a few people have bonuses to each other. So, on this chart, you have the best-worst compatibility. Colors match up, meaning these are best and worst, male to female or male to female. Same sex, female to female, male to male would be worst. And then on this chart, you have good compatibilities. Again, colors are where it's at. Libra and Aquarius are good to Gemini. Gemini and Aquarius are good to Libra. And Libra and Gemini are good to Aquarius. And so, because my starting character was Gemini, I'm looking for these pairings the most. And then bad compatibilities. We want to avoid these at all costs because we really got to do negative things too. Like, we'll have a hard time buffing and healing each other with these. So for me, that would have been Virgo and Pisces for the most part, but also because I was going for Libras, I had to be wary of Cancer and Capricorn, and because I was also going for Aquarius, I needed to be careful of Taurus and Scorpio. So basically, I had to stick to this good compatibility chart, and that's what we did. Most of our characters ended up as Aquarius, incidentally, and then I think I have one Libra, probably just one, something like that. So that is what it is. So that's a big part of what I was doing, and it randomly generates those characters when you're trying to recruit them, and so you're sitting there canceling, confirming, cancel, confirm, cancel, and you're just doing that over and over till you get what you want. And it took a while to get the right combination of Zodiac sign and Brave and Faith, and it wasn't even perfect, but it's good enough for now. So now let's take a look at a little bit of the party that we have. Oh, that's not the place. Notice my war funds on the bottom. I had 7,900. Now I have 500. It's all gone, and I need 1,000 more to get the last person I want. The person I didn't pick is the person that would probably be the easiest to train in terms of the job path they got to take, and we can go into that stuff on another episode. We won't go through all of it today, but I did want to introduce you to the party going forward. So again, we're already familiar with the main character, Rajan. He's a squire. Good brave, good faith. I will be reducing his faith because his classes aren't going to require it, and by reducing that, he'll take less damage from enemies. He'll also take less healing and buff chance, but we could do that by a little bit and it'll be okay. Okay, anyway, like I said, all around good stats. His Squire ability is special, and that's why he has the Guts ability there. You'll notice with our next Squire, Lord Iron Fist, he has something called Basic Skill. Now it's Guts, but with less of the cool stuff in it. And we'll go look at those because I gotta still train these guys in a couple abilities, and that'll give you an opportunity to see the job system. So the things we're looking at here are his Zodiac sign, Brave, and Faith. He has High Brave, Low Faith, and Zodiac Aquarius, which means he's good compatibility with the main character. Then we have a character named Stone, and he's also an Aquarius. All these males are going to be Aquarius. It's just that's what happened to come up with the right stats, so I picked them. And I didn't realize they were essentially all Aquarius when it happened. So he's also an Aquarius with a High Brave, Low Faith. Perfect. Then we have a character named Sung Nin, and also an Aquarius, mid to High Brave and High Faith. He will be doing a magical class, so that's important. Another character, Lucy Silva, also an Aquarius, High Brave, High Faith. He will also be doing a magic class, which is why I picked those for him. And lastly, for now, until the next battle, I think the next battle should get it for me, Beatrix. Beatrix is a Libra with Low Brave, Mid Brave, and High Faith. Now, I wanted to have High Brave, so we will be raising that, but I had a Libra female with good High Brave, High Faith, and I accidentally canceled out of hiring her. So by the time I got back to the next pairing that was close enough, I just took it. So I'll be able to raise her brave and get everything fine. It's not a big deal. Okay, we need to go through... Oh, we have Delita. He's our friend. Funny enough, we do not have the best... We have the worst compatibility from a... We have the worst compatibility from a science standpoint, but that's fun, I guess. I want to show you some dossiers I made up. I kind of made some little stories for all the characters, and I have them all planned out for what they're going to be doing. Not all their skills per se, but all their jobs and how good those will look. So let's go take a look at that. So I forgot, the first thing we have to do, if we want to look at their character, there's tons of things to read in this game. Tons. I don't know if we'll read everything. I kind of want to, but we'll see. Right now what we're going to do is look at people, because I want, as a part of looking at these dossiers, I want you to look at what the game says about the main character, Rajov, and then we'll go through what I've put for all the other characters. This is the information on Knight Rajov. Rajov Beouf, age 16. Knight apprentice to the Garland Academy. Originally from Igros, Beouf family is a well-respected family, producing many leaders for the Hokutan Knights. The youngest of 4 siblings, turned out worst of the siblings and is conscious about it. Yikers. That's a big yikers. While we're here, we can read about some other folks. We haven't met too many of these people yet, so we're not going to go through all of them. Let's see our friend Delita. This is the information on Delita. Delita Hyrule, age 16, Knight apprentice of Garland Academy, friend of you, Rajov. Came to Beouf family with sister, Tatum, after their parents were taken by the Black Plague. He was able to join the academy through the wishes of the late Balbanes, your father, aka Balbanes is Rajov's father. Okay, so Delita isn't originally a part of the Beouf family, as it might appear, but he has been adopted by them, which is an interesting note that will definitely come up later. So these are all some really cool characters, but we have not met them yet, so I'm not going to show you them yet. But we will take a look at them. We will look at the cadets. Several students nearing graduation of the Garland Academy were assembled. A plan was being formed, centered on the Hokutan, to extinguish the Death Corps who were terrorizing the Galleon region. The plan was to have the students handle all future problems. We're not going to go through the scene again, we've seen it already. Okay, and we'll come back to this more a bit later. So now let's take a look at the characters. So this is Rajov, and he is going to be, we've already read the story on him. He's going to be, his main class is actually going to be the Squire class that's unique to him. Now that's not always the best choice. It's a fine choice. You can get away with it just fine. Early on it won't be as great, because in these early stages, it just isn't as good. As the game progresses, hidden abilities will unlock for him, and he'll actually be able to equip more stuff than he can now, which will make him phenomenal. The areas he's going to be best in are buffing other people. His second class is going to be a mediator, which is a class that can use a speechcraft, a talking skill. And the talking skill can raise people's brave and faith, which is extraordinarily instrumental if you want to make your people super, super strong. Basically, when you raise your brave or faith or lower them in a fight, every 4 that you raise or lower it by increases it permanently by 1. So in the fight it goes up by 4, but you'll permanently gain or lose 1. And we can manipulate this as a mediator to make all our folks brave and faith whatever levels we want them to be, as long as they're not in weird points that will cause problems in the game. If you raise your faith too high on a character, they'll actually leave your party and go join the church, and that's permanent. It's like them dying, essentially. And then if your brave goes too low, they will permanently leave the party because they lose their will to fight. They become cowards. So that's our main plan with these, and it's a lot of fun. Also, I love the mediator. You can lower enemies' brave, and that's going to be a really cool thing for you to watch later, so I'm not going to reveal everything about that yet. Okay, so the main roles, he's actually really an all-around character. He's great with everything, except healing isn't phenomenal, but every single other thing he's going to be really good at. He's going to be a decent fighter. He's going to a decent fighter, a decent tank, actually a better tank than fighter even. He's going to be able to debuff people. He's going to be very utilitarian. Like there's useful things he can do that aren't just combat related, aka permanently raising brave and faith, not just buffing them in battle. And then his buff ability is going to be insane, because bringing up brave like that even if once it's maxed out, it's just you can't measure how useful that is later. I mean, you'll see what I'm talking about. But he's mainly going to be a support character because he can't just ranged attack everybody. He's only good at attacking when he gets up there to him and can stab him. So his main thing will be buffing, which through that talk skill, and debuffing enemies through that talk skill. All right, our next character, Lord Iron Fist. Heir to a noble family who have all recently passed on, Lord Iron Fist has set out to earn his name, not simply receive it. Against the council of longtime family advisors, he uses his family's longtime contact with the Bayu family to meet Rajoth and gain admission to the Garland Military Academy. So that's how he comes to meet the main character. He is going to do a knight and wizard as subclass. Now, the reason we're going to class it that way, these two are very juxtaposed. They actually don't normally go together very well, but I can make them work really well. I know how I can do that, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Here's why. If we were a wizard over knight, the battle skill isn't going to work really well as a wizard. That means as a squishy guy, we have to walk up to people, hit them with a crappy weapon, and try to break their equipment, which is what the knight's main skill does. But as a knight, we can equip a bunch of crazy armor, good weapons, shield, still get accessories to increase our magic. We can even wear robes, which will give us a little less HP, but more MP, and some of those will also increase our magic power. And what we'll be able to do is run around a tank as much as we want, but also, we can get up next to people and block them with shields. Maybe our accessory will also help us evade. Also, we will attack them with a very strong physical attack as a knight. And when we're not next to people or can't get to people, we're also going to have a wizard ability, which will pump up with probably a support ability called Magic Attack Up. I might even put counter magic on him, which means if magic is ever used on him, he'll counter with the same thing, even if he doesn't know the spell, which is really sweet. So for this character, he is offense and defense. His primary thing is going to be offense. If he's close to you, he's going to hit you hard with a sword. If he's not close to you, he's going to hit you hard with magic. He's going to be able to debuff to a degree because he can break people's weapons, armor. He can also reduce their speed, their power, and their magic with the knight abilities, which is phenomenal. Really good abilities. And also, he is going to be a decent tank. Now, tank isn't going to be his strongest suit, as it might normally be as a knight, because as a wizard, when you're casting spells, you're charging. And when you're charging, you are vulnerable. You take, like I said last episode, you take more damage, and you get and you can't evade the attacks while you're charging that spell. And we'll see examples of that because I'm going to mess up and he's going to get hit, or I'm just going to sacrifice some of his hit points and not care because I want to get off a spell. But anyway, he's going to be a really fun character. He's actually going to be one of the most challenging to play, but very rewarding when he works, and it's going to be a lot of fun. He's going to be a high brave, high faith character, and I actually might have messed that up when I bought him, but that's not a big deal. I can fix that very, very quickly once I get a mediator, so no big deal. Okay, our next character, Song Nin. One of two brothers from the House of the Dying Lotus, Song Nin practices mysterious arts related to speechcraft that bring forth curses and boons from the spirit realm. Learning of Rajoth's own interest in speechcraft as a mediator, only from another angle, they became fast friends and companions. His training aspirations are to be an oracle and a bard, and his roles would be support and healing. So oracles are a magic user, and their primary thing is to do curses to people. They do status ailments on enemies, like blind. They can also do poison. They can take people to temporary faith 0. They can make people have 100% faith, which can be a boon, or negative if you're trying to make them more vulnerable to magic. They can also, I believe, turn people to stone. They can steal MP. They can drain HP. Very, very fun, very cool, very utility. Oh, and paralyze. They can paralyze people, which is probably one of the most useful abilities in the game. Phenomenal. We're going to couple that with the Bard. The Bard is a terrible class to level up in, but it's a phenomenal class to get abilities in. And if you switch to another class once you've got all those abilities that has better magic power, like the Oracle or another magic user, those abilities go up in power, and you don't get the terrible growth stats that Bards get. We'll talk about growth stats at some other point. He's primarily a support character and a healer because buffing and debuffing are really good. He has phenomenal utility because when you level up in classes, other people get their job points for them. They get a little bit of them, not as much as he's going to get, but they get a little bit. And what that means is if they qualify to be in that class at any point, they can learn those skills too, and we can mix and match. Now, I don't plan to mix and match a lot of these. I'm going to stick most of these guys to their classes. It's a little bit of a challenge, but not really. It's more just a weird OCD thing of me. But one of his very useful abilities is an ability called Move MP Up, which means that every time he moves, he gains MP. I might put something like that also on Lord Iron Fist, which will be super cool, because then he can just cast spells, run up to people, hit them, and by the time he's walked up and done the fight, he'll have MP back, and he just keeps casting spells until he gets to the next guy and can whack him again. It's going to be really fun. He's also got the ability to heal and buff our units. So the Oracle is the debuffer utility guy, and the Bard is healing, buff, and utility. The Bard gets the best movement ability in the game, at least as far as movement range. It's called Move +3, which is really crazy. If you opt for his other one, it's called Fly, which means you can avoid obstacles and literally fly over things. But you're not going to get the movement range you would with Move +3. That's where the utility comes from. His friends can also learn this if he stays in it long enough. We may sacrifice some of his stats so they can learn those things. We will see. We'll see when we get there. Bards can also heal. It comes up very quick. It's not a high amount, but it comes up over and over very fast. And the buffs, same thing. That's the Bard. Over and over very fast. You can buff all your friends, and you can just keep doing it, and it's really useful. Okay. Beatrix. Beatrix is a talented young woman of a minor noble house and learned from Orban Monastery. She's a very hard-working student and has a true sense of justice. This training is real for Beatrix as a priestess, but is also a cover. Her house also has her training for dual duty as a warrior and assassin. In a bid for her to gain more experience, her house has used its connections and had Beatrix assigned to Raja's squad at the academy. Her training aspirations are a ninja and a priestess. Now, these are both really good classes on their own, and together they're actually kind of weird because they do very different things. But what they do is they make her a very overall character. By the way, a lot of these things I did not pick their classes. I kind of let people, some of my friends, pick their classes. They were for a different type of game where everybody plays single classes, and I just have tons of people on the board. But in this case, I've just matched what their choices were together, and I'm going to make them work, damn it. So, as a ninja, ninjas have some of the best offense in the game because they can hold two weapons, and every time they attack, they hit with both of them. That is insane. It's some of the best offense in the game. They can also throw items at people, which is really cool. Not for healing purposes, but damage. Throwing stars, but they can also throw like swords and axes and other weapons. Okay, and then the priest ability, I just call it priestess because she's a chick. The priest ability is healing and support. Now this makes weird combination. You got this character that can heal and provide protection and shielding and raise allies from the dead, but also can really dish out some damage and run across the battlefield, which is all useful in its own right. So she's going to be kind of like a combat medic. She's going to have fantastic offense. She's going to be offense, healing, and support as her roles. Great offense. A decent tank, which is surprising because you think ninjas, priests, these are mages and squishy attackers. How are they good tankers? Well, the reason is ninjas have an ability called Abandon. And if I may not get that, which would take her tanking down quite a bit, but if we do get Abandon, it raises your accessory evasion by something like 30%, which means in all directions, even from behind. And if you also equip a mantle, which is an accessory, that adds evasion on top of it. So you can have base evasion rates of 50% and better just off of that. And that is absurd. It's really good. So technically, she'll also be a tank. She's also a tank because she can heal, and it kind of feeds onto itself. The healing will be really good. It'll be a little weaker because as a ninja, you're going to have less magic power, but we can buff that with some items as well, which will be fun. She's also a buffer. Priests can cast Protect and Shell, and they can also cast Re-Raise, which means if you get knocked out in a few turns, you'll just get right back up. You don't need a Phoenix down or a Raise, which is great. Yeah, really, really, really useful. And then utility, she's got a couple move abilities. She's got a good support ability, and she's got a good, yeah, her move and support abilities are kind of good. Move HP up. Actually, no, that's the monk. She's got a good support ability, which is magic defense up. If you have somebody that you're concerned about taking magic damage for any reason, magic defense up is phenomenal. It's really the only way to raise your defense against that without changing your faith or some other accessory. So the next character on the page I'm going to skip because we don't have him yet. I want to introduce him all on his own, and I'm sorry that that's the case. I'm really sorry. I just can't afford everybody. And that character, he's gonna be out of the game for only 1 or 2 battles, and then I will definitely have the money for him. I think maybe only 1 battle. We'll see. It might be 2. Oh gosh. It's probably going to be 2. And the reason I decided to do him last is by a little bit of a margin. That character, because of the way the jobs are going to work out, they're going to be the easiest to train in those jobs. So we'll get there. So right now, for now, the last character we have, Lucy Silva. Brother of Song Min, Lucy Silva is another mysterious fellow. He studies ancient and forbidden arts. This training and study leads him toward the ability to call upon great spirits and alter the fabric of reality for his whims. When Song Min signed up with Rajoth, he did so with the acknowledgement that his brother would be joining as well. So Song Min and Lucy Silva are brothers. They both study some strange arcane arts that aren't down upon, but they're kind of, like, they're looked at in a weird way. He is going to be a summoner and time mage, which are going to go together in a really crazy way. He's going to be good at offense because the summons don't do the most damage necessarily, but they cover a big area and you won't hit your own guys with them. So that's a phenomenal thing. Also, summonings have a couple aiding abilities for your friends. They also have some debuffing ability, and they also have some healing ability. And again, summons only hit the targets they're intended to, which is so good. Time Mage is primarily a buffer and debuffer. They can cast Haste, Slow, Stop, Don't Move, which are all really good. They also can cast Meteor, which grants a little more offense. It's very hard to get off. But then beyond all that, that gives them good debuffs, buffs, offense, and the healing again from the summoner. Beyond all that, utility-wise, Time Mages and Summoners get support abilities like half MP, so they only use half the MP necessary to cast stuff. They also get an ability called Short Charge, which makes charge magic, no other abilities like charge and things, but charge magic like time magic and things go faster. They take some shorter amount of time to cast them, and they also get the move ability Teleport, which is so useful. So very useful, going to be an extraordinarily strong class later. That's going to be our lineup. I'll be updating these portraits and maybe adding onto their story as the game goes, but I wanted to show you what we're going to be working with. So now let's get back to the game. Okay, and we're back. Let's take a look here. So, real quick before we head out, I'm going to buy... should I buy a couple potions? Let's see. I'm going to buy one. Just to make sure I can get through. Alright, I think we'll be okay, though. Okay. Let's get out of here. And for this fight, I'm gonna make at least one person a chemist. So let's do that. Could use the utility in the next fight, just in case. I mean, it should be fine, but... yeah, just in case. Abilities. Okay, so now he's rounded out like the other folks. And I'm gonna make sure he has a decent weapon coming in, at least average with everybody else. Okay. Alright. I think we're good to head out. Let's see. Oh, we have some story. Having attained the highest rank of Heavenly Knight, brave Balbane was facing his last days. The end of the 50-Year War, the Beowulf incident. How goes the battle? Through swift action, we were able to recover Limberry. It's only a matter of time before the Odalia army leaves Altania. Don't worry. The secret messenger sent to Count Lenario has returned. Count Lenario has agreed to your plan. Good. Then, at last, this long war will finally come to an end. Father. Don't cry, my daughter. Where's Rajoth? Just when we need him most. Daisadark, Zalbag, my beloved sons. Take care of Rajoth. He may be your half-brother, but he is my own flesh. Father! Lower your voice. I'm glad you came. Let me look at you. Father, it has been a long time. You've become a fine man. You start at the academy in spring, don't you? Listen, Raja. Beowulf has served the royal family for generations. The warrior spirit is in us. Never shame your name. Never tolerate injustice. Living true to your heart is the warrior's way. The Beowulf way. I understand, Father. Delita's a good boy. He should serve you well. I've asked the Dean to accept him into the academy. It shocked the Dean a bit. He will serve you well. Treat him well. Yes, Father. Take good care of Alma. Become a fine knight, Raja. Yeah, that's a sad moment. Sad moment. So yeah, I think that happened about a year before the rest of these events. I could be a little wrong there, it's something I heard. And yeah, it's Raja's dad, and his half-brothers, through that father, around there. Daisadarg Zalbag, and then his sister Alma. Real quick, we'll take a look at their stories. Alma, youngest of four of the Beowulf family, attends the aristocratic school in Ignis. Your younger sister came from a different mother than the second brother. With her cheerful personality, she is well liked by everyone. Spending most of her life in a convent, she has recently returned to the Beowulf family. Alma is closer to you, as you are closer in age. Yeah, she's like a year younger than you, basically. Oh, than her brothers. Okay, thanks. Age 28. That makes him 12 years older than you, than Rajoth, and 13 years older than Alma. As a leader of the Hakutan Knights, he is considered to be a holy knight. Your older brother, with many victories in the 50-Year War, he has been praised by King Danamunda as the savior of Ivalice and Gallion. Under the name of Beowulf, there is victory. An undefeated warrior, but he is also a devout believer in the teachings of Glavinus, which is the church. And then Daisadarg Beowulf, age 37, so he is 9 years older than your other older brother, which makes him 21 years older than you and 22 years older than Alma. One of the troop leader under Prince Larg, your oldest brother, following his late father, Balbing's wishes, gave up his position as the leader of the Hakutan Knights to his younger brother, became the troop leader for Prince Larg, and is the most trusted, also known to have magical skills as a magic fencer. Okay. And that's the, basically the Bayo family right now. We'll check Balbane's as well, since we just saw him. Balbane's Bayo, former leader of the Hokutan Knights, and achieved the rank of Heavenly Knight, highest rank. While other knights were being defeated, he produced many victories, even when he was outnumbered. A treaty was reached because of the fear he struck into the hearts of the enemies. Died due to an illness in the latter parts of the war. Alright. Balbane's. Alright, we're about ready to head out to the next location. If you haven't gathered, the Bayo family is very respected, very honorable, very powerful, noble family. You know, they have influence in a lot of places. People know them, and they're feared for a lot, feared and respected for a lot of reasons that are generally good and honorable. Like they're good warriors, essentially, and they're very just people. Okay, this is where they live, Igor's Castle. We're not there yet. Let's take a look at the city. The Royal Academy of Magic, which produced war heroes like the wizard Elidims. I'm sure I pronounced that incorrectly. It's Garland Magic City. The next place we'll be going is Mandalia Plains. White limestone plains looking like tusks, also known as Beast Plains. Okay. I think we're basically ready to go. Let's run it. And a battle. So this is a scripted battle. This is part of the story. You will fight every time you walk here at this part of the game. Some battles are random, where you're walking across the terrain, and they make you fight. So here we're staging our troops, and you'll notice in this fight we only have a capacity of 4. You usually have a capacity of 5, but a lot of story fights where you have guests, they take out one of your guys. The really bad part to this is that essentially I can't bring in some of my own troop. So 1, 2, I have 2 sitting out this fight, and when I get my 3rd person, I'll be having 3 people sit out this fight. So it's going to cause me to have to rotate people based on need for the fight, also based on how much they need to level or gain job abilities or anything like that. So, all right, let's get moving. Mandalia Plains. Still breathing? What do we do? Don't be stupid. We just need to get the marquee. Right. Hey, don't blame us. Blame fate. What? Damn! The Hokutan Knights! Deathborn? They attacking someone? Now, you get 2 options here. You can choose how you want the objective of this fight to be. Our duty is to destroy the Deathborn, or saving him is a priority. The first one is much easier. All you gotta do is beat the enemy. The second one is harder, but you get a sort of hidden reward. You'll gain 10 Brave for the whole fight, which won't be of much consequence this early, but every 4 Brave or Faith that you gain or lose in a fight, you gain or lose 1 permanently. And so, by gaining 10, we'll gain 2 permanently. I'm gonna try it. The thing is, there's a little bit of RNG to this at the start. Don't disgrace the knights. Saving him comes first. There's some RNG because that guy is a special guest. He's an AI character. And if he decides when he's really hurt to run in and fight those guys instead of healing, and then he gets cut down, you lose immediately. It doesn't even matter if he... basically, if he loses his HP and falls down, you lose. You can't revive him, nothing. You just lose immediately. That's why it's tough. That and he could do something stupid. Reinforcements! Thank God! Alright, we have Algus. Yeah, he does pretty good damage. Okay, the Thief. Ooh, good dodge. So that's that guy is a Thief character. Thief is one of the jobs. Everybody else is a squire, in spite of the color that kind of makes them look the same. Yeah, they're not thieves. You'll see on the right there, we actually have the first monster. And we'll take a look at all these units real quick before we get started. do a very quick look. Throw stone. Notice throw stone didn't do the full damage it said it would there. It said 8, but it did 4. The fact that one of them has throw stone, by the way, very bad, because if he gets low, one of them can kind of pick him off, maybe. Let's take a look at the unit list. So in Final Fantasy Tactics, you can take a look at every single character on the board, unless there's a really special character. Once in a while you can't, but for the most part you can. We know our characters, so let's take a look at Algus. Alright. Algus is a Virgo, high brave, mid-level faith. He has a longsword, so that's why he's doing more damage. That's why he did 25 to that guy. Physical attack 5, weapon power 5. Otherwise, he has regular equipment, though he has battle boots like Raja. And then his main skill is the Squire skill, basic skill. And he also has item and equip change. Now, one thing to note, his Squire skill is a little better. He gets head break and armor break, which are knight skills, which is super interesting. Super interesting. Okay, next, Judd, the Thief. He's an Aquarius, high brave, mid-faith. He has a steal command. Thief job command. Steals not only items, but also intangible things. Yeah, like a steel heart you can do. It's not many of those, but there is one that does that. Davis, Squire. He's a Leo? I think that's Leo. Yeah. Sign called Leo. Sign compatibility. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Low brave, high faith. None of these will really matter for this fight. And then basic skill. Ponapult, another Squire. He's a Virgo. Vector, who's a Virgo. Leopold, who's a Libra. So this guy will be compatible with, which means he'll do more damage to us and we'll do more damage to him. These guys, the Aquarius a little bit, but only with my main character. These guys, the Virgos, I think will be negative with. And then Sarios, the Red Panther. Again, our first monster. Four-legged creature who attacks with sharp fangs and quick moves. Causes abnormal status with its venom. He has a counter ability. He can ignore height, which means he can run and just jump across the terrain without any concern for the height of the terrain at any point, which is a really great ability for him. Bad for us. Cannot enter water, which is good for us, and then earth weakness, which is interesting. There's not a lot of earth attacks in the game, so... yeah, we're also compatible with him, so he'll do more damage, and we'll do more damage. He has lower brave, though, so he'll probably do a little bit less damage. His moves are Scratch, attacks hitting with sharp nails, so just a damage move. Range 1, vertical 3, means he can attack up to the third thing again above him. And then Poison Nail, use poison to make enemies sick. Basically, if he hits you with this, you get poison. No damage, but poison, which will slowly damage you. Okay, that's the enemy formation. So we're going to start off by moving up here. We want to rush up and try to... Oh no, I didn't learn Throw Stone with these folks. No, so normally before this fight, I give a bunch of abilities to these guys. I didn't do that, nor did I do that with the Chemist. This could be very bad. Yeah, this could be very bad. Alright, we'll see. Yeah, no! Alright. The Chemist here is almost basically wasted because I don't have items learned for him, so he can't help me. Algus. Oh gosh, alright. If Algus takes too much damage here, I can't help him easily. I have one heal move. That's helpful, because now nobody can walk up to him, but they can still throw stones if they have that. Which won't kill him, though, at least. I can still heal him with my main character. He has the move called Wish, where he sacrifices some of his HP to get help, to help others. But that's it. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I forgot that. Yeah, I'm gonna run up and help block for once he's gone, and then I'm also gonna heal him because I'll take 10 damage, half of that 20, but he'll be at full health, and that's fine. We can take that. Alright. Yeah, it's so easy for him to get killed, which is why often I won't pick the easier choice for him. Or so often I will pick the easier choice. It's just too easy for him to die, and then you just lose, and there's nothing you can do, and it's... Yeah. You know, you get tired of that, and you're like, well, let's just pick the easy option. Alright, so we're not going to be trying to level up this fight. What I mean by that is I'm not going to try to keep people alive and not... I'm not going to try to keep people alive and just grind on my own characters and other characters and use other moves. I'm just gonna fight it out because I want to get through, get the money, and see if I can buy my last character for the end of the episode. Okay. Panther has some decent damage. One thing we have to watch out for the Panther is when we hit him, he's going to counter us, and that's going to hurt. He won't always counter, but when he does. Alright, so with this character, I don't want to expose him too much by putting him out here, because that would mean this guy can go walk out 1, 2, 3, and just hit him. He's already kind of hurt, so I don't want to do that. This guy's not hurt, so I will run it back there. He can take the hit from the other guy. So we have decent compatibility with this guy, so we can keep wailing on him like this. Oh, that's not good. Alright. Let's see if my chemist can finish him. Now, from the front, I have 23% miss chance. Oh, what? Wow, what a critical. So that's compatibility plus a critical for you. Really crazy. That's just RNG right there. A good, nice example of it. I don't want to approach this. I think I'm going to block these folks in. Actually, you know what? I'm going to stay here, and it allows one of them to feed through so I can attack him. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to wait right here. So if you couldn't tell, people cannot... no characters can walk on... can stand on where dead bodies are. Where fallen characters are. So that skull, that other character, nobody can stand there. We can walk over it. Everyone can walk over it, but you can't stand there. So it acts as a blocker, basically, which is super useful. That's a great dodge. I'm getting some decent RNG. Maybe the game has pity on me because I forgot to do everything I needed to do. I'll take it. Yeah, I put myself in a bad position and I'm doing alright. Anyway, we have 2 of the enemies down. So I'm going to check who goes next, because if one of my characters can walk up and fill this slot before Algus does, I'll move him so they can get another hit on him this round. Nope, Algus goes next. I do not want him doing anything. I want him staying in the freaking back. So let's wait. He's still trying to go over and get in the fight. Oh, he has potion. Oh, thank goodness. Wow, so Algus and other special characters always don't do useful things, but that's really useful. I can't get in the fight with him, which isn't the worst thing, but... I'm gonna move here, and that's gonna make it so... Well, no, Algus moved over there, so I need to support him more, unfortunately. So, I'm just gonna wait right here. Attack you. I'm gonna let him tank it, because he just got healed, so he's got full health. And, I could have moved the chemist in if I moved him out, but the chemist has such less health, it's not worth it. So we're gonna wait right here. So we're stalling them a bit, disallowing them to come in and get hits. Another dodge? I'm so lucky. Wow. I don't believe in luck generally, but for games I do, because it's just random number generation by a computer. It's such an arbitrary thing. He ran away. Delita is just hanging out. And the thief comes in. Now I am going to have to pull Raj up back because he's taking some hits. Oh, good dodge. I'm going to have to pull him back, which is unfortunate, but I'm going to move here. But then I can... 2, 3, 4. Oh, okay, that's fine. I'm going to move here and act as a bit of a... Oh no, he's my hurt guy. Oh, I did it again. I'm moving people in danger in. Yeah, sorry, I'm really tired still, so I'm not... I'm making silly moves. I have a 25% miss chance, which is really not good. Oh, but I still got it. Alright. Who goes next? Song Min. Alright. He probably can't kill you? I'm sort of in a little bit of a tough position, health-wise, but let's see if somebody else can move in the way. I don't want you to... When does Delita go? goes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, he'll move right in. I mean, he's got health. We could tank it, I guess, but I don't want him to. He's got potions. If I get messed up, maybe he'll come and help. Ah, another hit. So a lot of times, a 25% miss chance against the AI often means missing. But again, very lucky here, so I'll take it. I could probably kill this guy. Let's see. He has... I'm an Aquarius. He is... Oh yeah, we should have good compatibility with him. So we can definitely finish him. Coming up. Hello, Susie. Bonk! Alright. Algus. Oh, he's gonna... Oh no, he didn't run up and be silly. So he didn't put himself in a vulnerable position. Sometimes the AI can be smart. He didn't put himself in a vulnerable position. Bad compatibility, so only 8 damage. He did not make himself vulnerable because he couldn't get a hit on anyone anyway. And that's really, really smart. So I actually learned to be careful about that from them. He's gonna get the crystal, which is fine. There's not much to learn from these guys right now. So when you get crystals, you can either choose to be healed, or you could choose to get crystals. I think these are both Virgos, so it doesn't matter who I walk up to. Oh, it's Leo. Can I just take him out real quick? Oh, nope, we have worst compatibility with Leos. Ah, because we're of the same sex. Yeah, I'm gonna fight this guy, because it's gonna be more worthwhile. Ow. That's a lot of damage from a chemist, but that's alright. I will move Roger away, even though he's hurt. He can still take it better than the chemist can. One thing to note in this game, there isn't an inherent defense stat like a lot of Final Fantasies or a lot of RPGs. There isn't some sort of inherent defense stat. Your defense is your HP, which you get from your job, job growth, which is leveling up in certain jobs, and your equipment. Your armor and helmets are what give you HP. So chemists get messed up because they have low base HP. Algus is really compatible with him, which is useful for me right now. And I think we're at the point where I don't mind Algus getting in. It would be hard for them to kill him. I'm going to try to make it harder for them to kill him. Using a dash. Dash has variable damage. It's it tells you an average damage it can do, and then it does somewhere in between that, usually in quarters, I think. But it has a guaranteed hit, which is the bonus to using it. So if you're facing somebody and you want to make an attack and you have dash, you can do it freely because you'll definitely get a hit. This is a great position to be in. Wow. It's a little scary, but we kind of got him here. I don't mind if one of my guys does go down. It's not the end of the world. We're just going to start flooding in here and finish these guys off. Actually, he's going to mess my guy up, but it doesn't matter. We should kill them very quickly. Unless we miss him because he's facing us. Let's try it. Got him. Alright. So I had some really good RNG on this match. I came in with a big disadvantage. I had a plan, but I wasn't able to execute my plan because of that disadvantage. And they're all down. Good job, team. Are you okay? Barely, but the Marquis. Marquis? You mean Marquis Elmdor? Yeah. Who are you? We're military cadets. I think we can help. Tell us more. Triumphant music! Congratulations! This battle is complete. Ah! How much money do we get? Show me the money. Okay, I can use more. And a Could use more expensive things to sell to get my next guy. Okay, not bad. Not bad. I'll take it. I'll take what they're handing out. I'm Algus, of the Limberry Aegis Knights. A knight? I mean, a cadet, like you all. I'm Rajat. This is Delita, a good friend. Sorry, Rajat Bew. I don't know why I'm skipping words. Again, tired. Bew? Of the Hakuten? Excellent! How lucky I am! Huh? I beg you, please help me save the Marquis. What are you talking about? The Marquis is still alive. They've kidnapped him. He'll be killed. Oh, if we don't act fast. I don't know what I would do. So, please, help me, please. Relax. We don't know for sure if he'll be killed. There must be some reason for the Death Court to take him. They might have made some demands. Besides, there is nothing we can do. The Marquis was kidnapped, and I'm sure by now everyone at Igros Castle is up in arms. First, we should go to Igros and report. Alright, let's do that. Alright, so we have a new friend, Algus. He's another special guest. And, yeah, again, very fortunate battle for us. Yeah. What I'm going to do right now is, because he's a special guest, I do not give my special guest the same goodness that I give my main characters, because I take my main characters into all battles, and special guests will only come into special battles, story battles. So I usually try to kid out my other guys. I'm gonna save the battle boots for someone in a moment. I think. We'll take a look at what we gained from that battle, JP-wise, job points-wise, in a second. What I would like to do is see if I can get this character. Oh, you know what? I can't afford it yet. Hold on. I have to try to sell off some stuff and see if I can get enough money. Okay, let's see what we have. We have a dagger. We don't want that. We have a couple broadswords. That's going to bring us close. Haha, so I didn't buy potions like I wanted, and that's leaving us with a bit more money, which is really good. I don't want to sell these battle boots. I didn't use the potions because I couldn't. Oh, such a dumb move. Okay, so if I sell a Phoenix down, which I think I can afford not to have, I'll be able to get my last character. We're doing it. I'm not waiting for him. We gotta bring him in here. Too important. Too integral to the team. Alright, so we got 1550. We can recruit our man. So if hopefully this won't take too long for it to generate the guy I need. I'll take a slightly less good version because I can pump up the Brave or pump down the Faith stat as needed. So let's see. We're really just looking for the Zodiac sign, and we're trying to get a Libra to change it up a little bit. Since we have a bunch of Aquarius males, I want a Libra male. This is the opposite of what I want. So we're gonna not want him, and we're gonna be focusing purely on that. It's Leo, Scorpio, Aries, Scorpio, Cancer. I don't know what this is. Taurus. Ah, Taurus. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah. Oh, I don't want to hire you. So if you accidentally go to hire, you can say no at the end. Thankfully, that would have been a waste, and I would have felt very bad. No. Pisces, Sagittarius, the worst I could possibly get. Virgo, also a bad match. Leo, bad match. Gemini, not a bad match, but not a great match. Libra. However, Brave stat. Eek. That's way too bad. I could pump it up, but I don't want to. Aquarius, that would be good, but tons of Aquarius. Leo. Taurus. Cancer. So this is Libra. Brave stat is mid-level. It's not great. The Faith stat is probably where I want it. I don't want to lower it more than that because I still want him to be able to get buffed, but I don't want it to be much higher. I mean, maybe a tiny bit, but the lower it is, the less damage he'll take from enemy spellcasters. And he's not going to be spellcaster, so I kind of want it low. I'm going to take it because if I don't, I could be here forever just looking and waiting. So to get the perfect guy with this bright zodiac sign. So we're just gonna go with it and get a guy with mid-brave. And I can raise this brave. Not yet, but soon. And it won't matter as much in the early game. Add the soldier to your party? Alright, I believe the soldier's name is... You know the soldier's name's gotta be. Okay, most of you may not, but... The legendary Rekko. That's 1,500 gil, okay? Yep. That's my boy. Alright. We got our last guy, woohoo! Okay, so, before we carry on, let's take a look at our last guy's dossier. Okay, and here is our final character, main party character. His name is Rekko. Rekko's family is home to the Order of the Dragon Knights, guardians from ancient times who honed a special skill to fly through the air when fighting, even with armor. Rekko begins his journey with his friend Rajoth from House Beov, aspiring for greatness like his familiar warriors of old. His training aspirations are Lancer and Thief. So when I said that, and I wasn't trying to make this a simple training for him comparatively to the other people, but it worked out that this is the last job I needed was Thief. And it was sort of open to add, so I added it. Lancer, on the way to getting this job, is Thief. They can be level 3 or 4 Thief. So this works out perfectly. From a training perspective, he's probably the most synergistic. Okay, and his roles are offense, defense, and utility. That's because the Lancer has heavy armor, and he can jump across the battlefield and land on people, kind of like other Final Fantasy games. It can do a lot of damage when he is a Lancer equipped with a spear. It does an extra 25% damage, I believe. And he can jump very far once I train him. You can train him to be able to jump up to 8 squares forward or back or any direction, and then 8 squares up or down, which is a lot. And then the Thief class is primarily going to offer the ability to take people's stuff, which not only helps us get more cool equipment we otherwise can't get, sometimes it's unique and you can't even get it anywhere else, but it also allows us to steal gold. And when you steal items from people, like you can steal their weapons out of their hands, their armor off of them. I don't even know how. That's some legendary stuff right there. But the Thief, when you take those things, the enemy doesn't have it, so they lose those hit points, so they lose that weapon. And if they depended on those really, heavily, they're in such a bad position now. So, okay, yeah, this is going to be a fun combination. Very defensive, but very powerful offensive. Almost like a Juggernaut character who can steal your stuff, which is awesome. Okay, his offense is really good. It's definitely above average. He can hit from up to 2 squares away, so 1 or 2, with his regular spear, or he'll be able to jump very far once I train him with the Lancer jump ability, and it's going to do a lot of damage. The tank ability is going to be insane, because he's going to have heavy armor, gives him the most HP. Lancer has good base HP, and he also is going to have a shield, so he can block stuff from 3 directions. He's also has 10% class evasion, so from the front, even better evasion, adding on with the shield. And then if we equip him with an accessory, which I don't know if we'll do movement or evasion, if we equip him with an accessory that does evasion, he'll add that on as well, which is wild. So even if you can hit this guy, he's going to be able to take so much damage. And if he's in danger, honestly, even if I can't hit you, I can jump to mitigate the damage. You won't even be able to hit him while he's gone. If he's going to be hit by a big spell, but it's his turn and he can do something right before then, you can have him jump, and then he won't be a valid target anymore. Really cool stuff. Okay, and then utility is going to come from an ability he's going to learn, and others can learn because of the job spillover, the point spillover, because he'll be training as a Lancer. There's a move ability called Ignore Height, which lets him, while walking like that panther, just jump up or down as high as he wants to keep going, and it doesn't impede his movement at all. It's wild to have. And other characters can learn it too, because again, he'll be spilling over job points. Okay, and then the biggest utility piece is honestly from the thief. We'll be getting special items we can't otherwise get. We will be taking those items out of the hands and off the bodies of the other characters, so if they depended on them, they are just in the worst position possible. And also, with the thief, we can steal Gil, and we can do something called Steal Heart, which is a charm move. And we won't do that as often, but it's a nice ace up your sleeve to have. Also, thieves learn a really good movement skill called Move +2, which, if I train a thief long enough, others will be able to learn it without even going to thief. And if we want to give them a very long-range move skill, that's a good option. Finally, the thief has a final bit of utility in that you can give him a support ability called Secret Hunt. And Secret Hunt allows you to poach animals, which means if you kill an animal while Secret Hunt is equipped on you, they will fade from the battlefield. They won't leave a body. And later in the game, when a trade... It's like a I don't know, like a trade hub or some sort of special shop will open up, and you'll be able to buy discounted items made from those monsters. And they're all special, not all special, excuse me, but each monster has a certain pair of items, a rare item and a normal item that can come out of that. And some items you can't get or can't get easily unless you're poaching. So that's going to be something we can look into. I'm not going to min-max that hard, but I am going to be considering it with random battles with monsters, which will be really fun. Okay, so that is the majority of what we got. Oh, also included that he technically has a little bit of healing because, and it's also technically tank. He has, the Lancer has it's so crazy, a counter ability called Dragon Spirit where if he has re-raise on him automatically. Now, it only works once. If he's downed, he'll get back up in 2 to 3 turns, but after that, it won't work again for that fight. That's still really good, though. He's going to be so impossible to kill. And then also, he has the ability to debuff by taking people's equipment. You're honestly nerfing them so much. So, okay, that's it for our character roster. I will be updating stories and pictures as we go. Okay, so, final thing we're going to do is a quick level up with everybody. Okay, so one of the advantages of actually getting through that fight without leveling any of this stuff is I have spare points to get one of the best support abilities, especially early on in the game, called Gain JP Up. I don't know the percentage, but it's 50% to 100% more JP every time you do something that would earn you JP, which is wild. So that's going to speed our growth a lot. I'm also going to learn Potion and Phoenix Down with as many people as possible. And the reason is, it's a good little early support ability. It's a good little support action ability if we get into hairy situations. I won't keep it forever though. Okay, and then Gain JP Up, as you can see, is a support ability, and it's just changing it's a passive thing. It changes the nature of your character. There's 1, maybe 2, maybe 3. Support abilities that are actually action abilities, but they're rare and they're not too good, so I won't use them. Ooh, I didn't mean to do that. Okay, so Lord Iron Fist. Same thing. You're in that battle. Gain JP Up is something we can toss on you, which is really good. And again, the other abilities are nice. This gives us a ranged ability, which doesn't do a lot of damage, but it's just a nice little utility. And then Accumulate is phenomenal. Attack power. Basically, every time you use this, because of the way the multiples work, you're multiplying physical attack by your weapon power. Every time you use this in a fight, you raise your attack by... Your physical power goes up by 1, so the damage you do goes up by a factor of your weapon damage, which is really cool. And easy to kind of watch grow during the fight. Also, this is an easy way to stay out of the fight, prolong fights, and just have people gain experience in JP if you need it. So we'll probably learn this with some people. We'll see how hard I go with that, but it's really simple to do. It can be a little boring to grind that way, but early on, again, it's really useful. Okay. And anybody I can set up this way early, I'm going to set up, because it's just super useful. Now, if you're playing this, you don't need to go this route. It's not like the game is impossible if you don't. And this isn't even necessarily the best min-max strategy per se. I'm sure there's something better, but this is for me. It's worked a lot, so I'm gonna do it. Okay, so this is all their starting JPs that are getting me this, plus the JP earned during the fight. Okay. Yeah, that's everybody in that fight. Let's equip him. So the people that have not trained yet. Oh no, Lucy's Hope was in there, right? Wrong, it wasn't. But what we're gonna do is learn Potion with him, and Phoenix down. And since I've gone so far not getting points with learning other abilities with people and using those points, I'm gonna save them all for getting JP up with people. Beatrix was not in the fight. She is so close to gain JP up. 194 of 200. So we're definitely not gonna learn it with her. We'll just wait. She won't be able to use basic skill, but fine, whatever. One fight and she will have it. It's gonna be phenomenal. And we can waste potions, which does use up money, but consider it an exchange of gil for experience. And our good friend Rekko is just joining us, also very close to gain JP up. So we'll wait with him when we get him into a battle, but we will learn Potion and Phoenix down. So great, we have a lot of utility with items. I don't have the ability to buy those items. I'm going to buy one Potion, and that's about all I can do. And then and I said I was saving the battle boots. I'm going to save them for... I was going to save them for Rekko because he just got in, but the thing is, Lucy Sobo has less JP than everybody else started. I don't know why, it's random when they generate this stuff, but it's going to make him harder to get going just by a battle or two. So what I'll do is equip him with the battle boots. It's going to give him 5 move total, and that's going to allow him to get into the mix more and be where he needs to be to get that JP. Everybody else is going to have what they need to get gain JP up with ease, so it's going to be a little safer. Okay. Whew, what a team, folks. I'm super excited. We got our team. We're ready to kind of start the game a little bit more. And we'll be doing that in the next episode. I hope you enjoyed a lot of introductory stuff, a lot of roleplay elements we've introduced. I hope that's something you like. Tune in next time. It's gonna be fun, guys. Thanks again, and take care. Bye.